Welcome everyone. I'm glad to have you here, taking a look at all the videos. I'm still rather sick, so please bear with me as my voice sort of makes me sound like I'm strangling a frog. Thank you for any patience you can give on that. Now, I'm not sleeping very well because I've been rather sick. It's been driving me nuts. Well, I often stay up late anyways because I'm a bit obsessive about looking at everything and reading way too much. It's just sort of the personality that I am. And I figured now's a good time to start a new video series that's kind of been floating around in my head for a while. I'm going to call Things That Keep Me Up at Night. Yeah, there's a lot of things that keep me up at night. Now, I'm going to do sort of an overview in these videos of the problem and the issue I see and sort of go into it a bit. Now, certain things like EMPs, nuclear war, pandemics, those sort of things, asteroid impacts, I'm going to make a deep dive series into all of those sort of things and go over in deep detail a lot of pieces associated with those things. But here's the place where you're going to find, a lot of things that I just kind of ponder, think about, and consider that I think I can cover mostly in one video, or at least start the introduction to the problem in one video. That's what I'm planning on this. And if you guys have any sort of disasters, issues, or things you're thinking of, let me know. Put them in the comments. And I'll research it and look into it and see about making a video about them. Always curious about anything and everything. Even some of the conspiracy theories are actually quite entertaining to read. Don't really buy into a bunch of them, but they are sure as heck entertaining a lot of times. And we might cover some of those because, like I said, they're entertaining. I get a kick out of them sometimes. People put some amazing amount of work into the whole thought process and all the elements in it. It's really impressive at times. But anyways, let's get back on topic. Today's video is going to be about artificial intelligence. It's an important topic, especially with all the things we see in the news and everything going on. It's popping up everywhere. They're talking about AI this, AI that. And AI has been showing some amazing abilities to do certain things. Now, AI is extremely in the infancy level. These are machines that are learning for pattern recognition and able to do and accomplish things based on patterns and stuff like that. We're not at the level of reasoning here. They're responding, carrot and stick sort of thing, or it's a evolutionary genesis. What they do is they, select the best breed of the current bot that does the best job and get rid of the rest until it's able to do the job they want very effectively. We're not talking about machines here that are actually thinking yet. Although some of the very complex systems that are playing, Google's Deep Mind they have to show off, they can play chess or Go and, now StarCraft and things like that, can really sort of imitate the decision making that you think a human's going to do. They're very similar in patterns on this, but we're not talking about self-aware systems yet. Although, it wouldn't surprise me if we get some more advances in technology that there is a significant push and ability to actually go that direction. But anyways, now, one of the things that's interesting to me is that, we have this YouTube algorithm. People always talk about the YouTube algorithm. Now, YouTube is employing AI to solve their problems as much and as possible as they can. They reluctantly use people. They don't really want to use people. They reluctantly use them. So like when people appeal videos and say, hey, this got flagged incorrectly, or this is wrong, that's where they're doing it, is having a human. Well, there's disputes on that, but generally, the idea is a human goes and looks at it and says, oh, no. The AI or the bot got this wrong, and we just need to correct it. And then they do that, and then it feeds back into the AI to learn how to spot these things better. And now with some of the new scandals popping up, they're talking about AIs to start recognizing comments and, criminal activity or illicit activity to spot these things and shut them down and get rid of them. And also pattern recognize these videos that cross the line and all these other things. They're talking about that. Now, what's interesting is YouTube has an utter faith that they will be able to solve this problem using artificial intelligence systems. And they don't seem of any way saying, I don't think we're ever going to get there. We just, have to get more people involved, do this, do that. No, they are fully on board with saying they've got to do artificial intelligence. And they believe that as the generations of computer technology advances and the algorithms get better and the understanding of neural networks get better, that the AI system is going to succeed. Now, if you think about that, the AI system is going to have to be aware and spot changes people are going to make, the criminal element. They're going to come up with new code words, new lingo, new slang. And the AI is going to have to start spotting that. Kind of crazy to think that the AI is going to have to start realizing that sort of context to get it right. But that's what they're going for. They're aiming for that, and they believe they can get it done. I don't entirely believe they will be successful in doing this. The YouTube people and the humans interacting with the system, doing things, leaving comments, videos going up, I think they're always going to be able to outsmart the system until we arrive at, self-aware, truly thinking machines that can actually be aware and know what's going on better. I mean, that's sort of the end goal. So I don't think they're going to really get there because I see a lot of shortcomings in the technology. Now let's switch over to another problem that has not been successfully solved before in the past, and that is a centrally planned economy. It's the sort of system that's used by communism, socialism, fascism. And it's failed spectacularly and been an immense disaster, to the tune of 100 million people have lost their lives in the past due to this. That is an unbelievable number of people that have died due to people believing they had the power to control and manage everything from their ivory towers. I sure don't want to be one of those people paying that price. And that's why this stuff keeps me up at night. Now, what's the issue here is when you're trying to centrally plan things, it's very hard to say, I need this many toys, we need this many medical supplies, we need this much food, we need this much furniture, this much housing. Very difficult. But in a free market system, all that complexity, all the intractableness of the problem is pushed down into the lower levels, and it's decisions that are made locally by the people needing their needs met. So people are saying, oh, I got to go to the doctor. The doctor goes, oh, I need medicine. Stuff gets ordered. There's a feedback into the system. It adapts and moves quickly to be able to adjust to changes, needs, wants, all those sort of things. Or like in case of disasters, natural disaster, hurricane and all that, we know, oh, hey, orders coming in to get this, get that. We got to ramp up production. We got to do this. There's a good mechanism to be able to handle this in the free market. Distributes the decision-making very effectively. In a centrally planned system, they don't adapt very well. They don't handle disasters very well. It's sort of like when you look at like big corporations versus the small and nimble corporations. Like how the IBM PC market was completely cannibalized by all the clones, and they pretty much shut IBM out of the business after a little while. IBM, as a big monolithic monster, couldn't really adapt and change quick enough. IBM is renowned for their bureaucracy taking ages to make changes and to be able to make decisions. Same thing, but much worse at a really large, centrally planned economy and government system. Has the same problems. Here we arrive at the meat of what I consider the big issue in all this, and what I'm worried about, is I think we're going to end up with a push by people, and there's a chance, I hope not, but a chance we're going to end up with a president and legislative body that is going to make a push for socialism. They're going to bring in people, advisors and all that stuff, and a new generation of technologists. And what they're going to say is, you know what? We can do a centrally planned economy now. It is possible. We will use an artificial intelligence. We will build a giant supercomputer, and it will be big enough and powerful enough to make all those decisions. To be able to tell people, hey, this is how much food you get, and it'll be enough. This is how much medicine you're going to need, and it's going to be enough. This is what accessories you're going to get and luxuries you're going to get, and it'll be enough. That's what they're going to argue for. And the thing is, just like with YouTube, these technologists will come from the generation that fully believe it will be possible. Now, I come from a high-tech background and stuff. I work in the high-tech field, and I went through the entire formal education process. I'll rant about that some other time. And it's interesting. The computer science field has one really disturbing problem compared to other engineering fields. For some reason, this field likes to forget all the lessons of the past, all the complex issues that we figured out and solved in the 1970s, 60s, and 80s, and try to reinvent everything. There's a phrase often used in the computer science industry called NIH, not invented here. How if something came from some other place and it was a good solution, Oh, we didn't do that here. We're going to reinvent that and develop it ourselves. And they run down and crash into the same disasters and problems that have been solved by many other people in the past. It's very unfortunate. And it also means a lot of people, when they're doing things, are way overconfident in being able to solve something they really can't. And they don't recognize they're not going to be able to. And that's sort of an issue I have, is these technologists that will end up in this administration that I'm talking about, they will fully believe AI, and they will sell it with complete conviction, saying, yes, this artificial intelligence will allow us to do it. And they're going to argue to say, here's how we can implement it. And let's go down these issues. They're going to talk about how they're going to implement it, and they're going to have a lot more to bring to the table in their implementation process to be able to accomplish this. And one of the things they're going to bring up is, in the past, the decision-making feedback loop of the free market can now be engaged into the AI system. And they're going to do it by the Internet of Things. See, all those devices that people are buying, smart toasters, smart washing machine, smart fridges, smart toilets for all I know, they're going to say, we need to tap into all of those devices, have every manufacturer have it where it reports to us, and then the AI can become aware of the growing needs and changes of the populace. That they'll be able to adjust for, different changes in needs, different eating habits, new fads, all these other things. Then they'll also probably argue, hey, we need to get tapped into Google Home, Amazon Alexa, or those other sort of devices so that they can listen in and manage dissent to find out when people are going to get unhappy enough. We'll toss them some more freebies and stuff like that to pacify them, keep them happy enough so they don't revolt. I can easily see how they're going about this, and they're going to start doing that. So they probably won't go whole hog right away, because the penetration, because I'm worried this is going to happen like 2024, 2028, the penetration of all these smart devices may not be far enough along in America to fully do that. So one of the things they're probably going to do is put a lot of financial incentives out there, say, it's green. We need to do new energy efficient things. So get a smart appliance, get a smart thing like that, and have these big tax rebates, or, a cash for clunkers, but it's appliances sort of thing, to get all this old stuff out of there and swap it in for these things that are now talking back and reporting on you. And they'll have like grants for the poor and say, hey, we have this special thing. We're going to give this neighborhood all these things, and it'll be lauded in the news, and people will be so happy. But they don't realize what they're giving up. They don't realize what's coming. And that's what I'm worried about. That once they've got that in there, then there'll be a giant push, and they'll announce, we're voting, we're taking over all production, all industry and all that, and it's now going to be a socialist system. We're going to decide who gets what, how much food you get to eat, what kind of schools people go to match them up with their psychology and all this other stuff, and realize the Marxist utopia that's always been talked about in the past. It's terrifying. Utterly terrifying. And given what the censors and all these things they've got put in there, I could see it working for maybe a decade at the absolute most. The problem is until you see like a self-aware computer, it's just not going to be able to do it. It won't be able to adapt enough, because humans are so adaptable. It's going to have blind spots. It'll miscategorize things, mispredict, and eventually the system will come apart. The only problem, though, is as it's coming apart, what's going to happen is we're going to have starvations, just like in the past. And as they're losing control, just like in the past, they're going to put people out there to hold it, get people back in line, or we're going to end up with mass graves with people executed at a firing squad. This is a very grim reality I am concerned about deeply. And I wanted to share this sort of message with everyone, to get them to think about it, to realize that as you see these new smart technologies coming out and these smart devices, that there's a side effect. That the more of that sort of stuff that's reporting on you, talking back to you, maybe going to a company right now. But if we get certain people elected, they may decide, all that data? Yeah, we want it. Just like how after 9/11, they went in and tapped all those fibers in the internet backbones at the AT&T office for the NSA. And the NSA has a listening post out all throughout the country to gather intelligence, see who's talking to who's doing what. They're going to go in further. So we really need to be careful about what we are allowing into our homes. I don't buy smart appliances. I don't want them because I am concerned about this. And if I absolutely get stuck having to buy one, I will deny it an internet connection. And I will make certain it can't connect over the cellular networks. I don't want this technology. And I don't want like an Amazon Echo or Amazon Alexa, and the Google Home. I don't want those devices because I am concerned about this. And I want to deny them the possibility to even try this. I know, I'm a one-man person fighting against this, but that's me. So I hope you guys think about this, consider it, and realize the future is also really bright, but there might be some really ugly spots we're going to have to live through. And I don't want to have to live through the implementation of socialism and it all falling apart in this country. Do not want to deal with that at all. So take care, everyone. I really appreciate you being here. Leave me some comments, leave me some thoughts on this. Share with me what you think. This is Reed, out for now.